Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. It is officially Turpy Tuesday and a Strain Review Tuesday at that this Thanksgiving week here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome on in, Roll Gangsters. It is your host, Processor Sky, and I am back 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, with another weekday wake and bake. Because after all, as per stoner law, we have awoke, so now we smoke. It is so great to see all of you this morning. I am going to be smoking on some of this Veda Mac. I got a promo sample of this Veda Mac, and I am super excited to break it down and give it its official score out of 100 on the RSRS, the Rolling Spoon Rating Scale. And basically how it works is we're going to examine this herb, give it a pre-smoke judgment based on the aroma, coloration, density, and nug structure. And then we're gonna, do our thing. We're gonna roll up and smoke it. Then our post-smoke judgment, which is worth 60% of the final score, is based on flavor, ash, and throat hit. And then the last segment that we'll do before we close out the show is the definitive judgments. We'll see how long the joint burned, and then tally the score out of 100 on the RSRS. Super excited to break down this Mac by Veda. And honestly, Roll Gang, it smells like a fucking creamsicle. There's 10 milligrams terpinolene, almost 11, 4 milligrams ocimene, and 3 milligrams myrcene. It is like orangey and fruity, but creamy and like decadent. Super excited to smoke it. Here's what the nug looks like. It's a little bit squished, which means it was probably really nice and well moistened, well cured. I can't really tell much about the nug structure because of how much it was squished, but the flavor, the aroma coming off of the bud is actually really fucking satisfying. The Veda Mac coming in with the heavy nose rip. So the pre-smoke judgment is based off aroma, which is fabulous. Coloration, which is, I'd say good, for sure. The density is a little bit to be desired. Maybe could have been a little bit more dense. I have no idea how dense it was before it got squished, which means it probably was a little less dense, you know what I mean? And then the nug structure, I can't really tell. The packaging had to make a difference in this one. It really squished this nug. I'm going to go ahead and give it, so 5 is seemingly perfect, 4 is dumb gas, 3 is nice. I'm going to go ahead and, this is definitely a nice looking nug, I'd say it's a 3 out of 5 on the pre-smoke judgment. But now it's time to break it down, roll up our the same exact 0.5 gram joint that we roll on all the shows of the Weekday Wake and Bake, let alone the strain reviews. We got to give it a completely unbiased judgment. So the only way would be to roll a dime every time, because if I do a bad job rolling this joint, then we won't really be able to tell how good the weed smokes, because we'll be dealing with the problems of my roll. So I'm going to make sure that I roll a dime here on the Weekday Wake and Bake, just like every episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, with the help of my handy-dandy cannabis multi-tool, the Rolling Spoon, helping me to roll a dime every time by distributing my herb in a perfect distribution amongst the paper. Like, whenever you're rolling a joint or a blunt, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're rolling up, the distribution evenness. So the evenness in which you distribute your herb amongst your paper or joint wrap is going to directly correlate with any runs or how even your joint burns. So having that evenly distributed herb means evenly distributed airflow whenever you pull. And in order to get an even airflow throughout the entirety of the joint, there can't be any runs, any canals within the joint where it's less densely packed than the rest, you know? If one little area has less weed than the rest, the air is going to want to come through that spot. The little, call it cavity, if you will, in the joint. So in order to have no cavities, you have to distribute it perfectly evenly. And really fucking helpful to have the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool here to help me out with it. And also this morning, headline sponsor with the Rolling Spoon is Oaksterdam University, the place to go to gain your cannabis knowledge, and the first ever cannabis college. Go to Oaksterdam and claim your stake in this budding industry by getting a certificate in horticulture, cannabis horticulture particularly, or, cannabis business. They have cannabis business courses taught by some of the best industry-leading entrepreneurs, and it really is priceless. But there is a price. You can check out Oaksterdam University's website. Use promo code Rolling Spoon when signing up for your tuition, and you'll get a 10% scholarship to your cannabis courses. Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college to boost your cannabis knowledge. So without further ado, let's smoke up some of this Veda Mac. Super excited to burn up with you guys, Roll Gang. This is a beautiful, beautiful fall morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I feel like Mac is some perfect smoke this morning. Here's my dime and the one that helped me do it. Boom. Let's spark up, Roll Gang. So the pre-smoke judgment, it got a 3 out of 5, which is a nice, nice rated. Definitely looks nice. Whoa. Terpinolene. Wow. It is not as fruity in the smoke. It is not orangey or citrusy. It is straight musk. Like that terpinolene haze taste. It smacks like a haze. Oh my goodness. The flavor is off the charts, Roll Gang. I am absolutely loving the musky, pungent aroma, but the Asamine smoothing it out a little bit. It's not overwhelming as a normal haze strain. I'm normally a little bit overwhelmed by hazes. This is a 5 out of 5 on flavor. All the way. This is a complete 5 out of 5. This is what you want when you're smoking weed in taste. The ash color, it's actually pretty nice. It's pretty light. I'd say, so a 5 out of 5 ash color looks like whipped cream. A 4 out of 5 is a cumulus cloud, cumulus nimbus. And then a 3 out of 5 is light gray. I can definitely see a 4 out of 5, like the cumulus nimbus cloud, but it's not even. You can see some of the pieces of weed within the joint are burning a little bit darker than the rest. It is really clean tasting smoke though, my goodness. What are you guys smoking on this morning, Roll Gang? Would love to know in the comments section or after the fact. Thank you for tuning in. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, wherever you're consuming the show. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Love all of you guys. This is a great smoke. I'm judging some Mac by Veda here this morning on this Strain Review Tuesday. I got it in the joint right here. We got 22% THC with 10 milligrams terpinolene, 4 milligrams ocimene, and 3 milligrams myrcene. Man, the myrcene's getting lost in the terpinolene. So, I'm going to give I kind of got distracted, but I'm going to give the ash color a 3 out of 5. It's like a light gray color. You know what I mean? It's a little splotchy, but it's honestly super clean smoking. Normally, if it's somewhere in the darker range than this, then you're not going to want to smoke it. But this one definitely passes the ash test. So next up, the throat hit. This is the part where, there's that almost primal sensation when you smoke some THC-packed weed. You can really tell. There's a desired throat rip that you're trying to get whenever you rip it. And this one's definitely not like a powerful smack. I love joints that don't make me feel like I want to cough all the time and that I'm choking. I describe this one as a satisfying snack. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a ting in the back of my throat whenever I rip this, it's super satisfying. I think this is going to get a perfect score too, the throat rip. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want when I smoke. It's really potent, but not like I'm hitting a dab. Really fucking smooth, but you can still feel the significance of the smoke, which is kind of what you want when you're burning. So, a 3 out of 5 on the pre-smoke judgment, a 5 out of 5 on flavor, a 3 out of 5 on the ash color, and a 5 out of 5 on the throat rip. And the only thing left for us to talk about is the definitive judgments, where we talk about, the length of the burn time, which we're still going. It's pretty impressive. The tested THC percent, and how relevant it was to the smoke. The number of terpenes over 3 milligrams per gram. And, noting other cannabinoids if present. So, firstly, let's get into the THC percentage, 22.19% THC. And honestly, it's very, very accurate. It's super moderate smoke, definitely heavily medicated, but not overwhelming at all. This is basically the perfect THC percentage, and it smokes like it. That 18 to 23 range is the perfect 5% margin for me. And Max sliding right in the top end of it. Next, we'll talk about the number of terpenes over 3 milligrams per gram. Terpinolene and ocimene are both coming in at over 3. Two of my favorite terpenes. Terpinolene, the nice, energizing, uplifting, flavorful terpene. And the ocimene to smooth it all out. That's my favorite terpene. Found in mint, just creates a more decadent smoke texture, if you will. It's the most textural terpene by far. So 4 out of 4 ocimene and 10 terpinolene. I mean, those are the two terpenes over 3, and they both come through in the smoke really fucking satisfying and great to see. Other cannabinoids, it does not look like there's too much. It says there's 2% delta 9 THC, which is activated. So maybe it was a little bit decarbed in the process of the cure, which, I mean, it was pretty well cured, I'm not going to lie, but the bag kind of squished the nugs. You guys know that. And honestly, the burn time, probably like running, that was like probably 6-7 minutes, and I still have some left that I'm going to blaze and smoke, but you know, honestly, the definitive judgments, we have to find a way to put all of those factors into a score out of 20. It's the last 20% of the final score out of 100. And I'm going to go ahead and give it, you know, great burn time, THC percentage, check that box. 2 terpenes, it may be this myrcene could have been a little higher testing, but honestly, I'm not going to complain at all. The only hit is maybe if there were a little like CBD or CBN. I'm a really big fan of additional terpenes. I don't have much constructive criticism on this one at all. I'm honestly going to go ahead and give this one a 19 out of 20. You know, it's almost perfect. Maybe we could have had one more terpene scaling over 3 milligrams, maybe another cannabinoid, but really there's nothing much to hit. It's seemingly been a very satisfying and accurate numbers to the smoke results. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the numbers don't transfer to the smoke, and this is just not one of those strains. The numbers don't lie in this one. You actually really experience them. So we're going to do a 19 out of 20 on the definitive judgments, a 5 on the throat rip, a 3 on the ash color, a 5 on the flavor, and a 3 on the pre-smoke judgment. I'm going to go ahead and tally those up after I give a quick shout out to Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college to boost your cannabis knowledge. Oaksterdam is the place to go to claim your stake in this budding industry. So use promo code Rolling Spoon, one word, Rolling Spoon, for 10% off your cannabis horticulture courses, and your cannabis business courses if you're looking to get into cannabis. But absolutely loved smoking this Mac. Shout out Oaksterdam and the Rolling Spoon for making it possible, helping me to roll a dime every time. I mean, this one was a great one. So basically how the scale works is 100 to 90 is almost unachievable. You know, this isn't high school grading. 100 to 90 is world-class cannabis. 90 to 80 is considered completely elite. Like, you know, it's very tough to find. Some harvests will get there. Other harvests of the same cultivar won't. 80 to 70 is that sweet spot. It's that top shelf dispo weed, you know? 70 to 60 is super high qual. You know, if you can pick it up, you're going to be really satisfied with the smoke. And then 60 to 50 is good quality smoke. And then once you get below 50, 50 is the point where you start to get into the mids, you know what I mean? But everything gets a score here on the Weekday Wake and Bake strain review segment. So let's see what this Veda Mac, cultivated by Veda, is going to score on the RSRS. So 10 points for 3s, 20 points for 5s, you know, no 4s, but they're worth 15 points. And then we add the definitive judgments, 19. So we got 10 for the pre-smoke judgment, 20 for the flavor, making 30, 10 for the ash color, making 40, and 20 for the throat hit, making 60. Then we're going to add in the 19 to make the final score of 79. That is a fabulous score. Some high-end, top-shelf cannabis. I can't imagine if they packaged it in a jar, you know. That would have been something else. And maybe the nug would have looked super sexy. And the pre-smoke judgment would have been higher. But anyways, Roll Gang, absolutely love blazing it up with you guys. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. And, yo, I'm going to go and smoke up the rest of this joint. And cough up a fucking lung, I guess. Damn, I'm pretty blazed, I'm not going to lie. Shout out the Mac Veda. An absolutely satisfying smoke. Come get yours from Medizin today. 4 to midnight. Come and see your processor in the shop. Absolutely love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. See you tomorrow. Should I give a quick shout out to tomorrow's episode with the beautiful Miss Ariana Janae coming back to join the, she's a mailbag favorite. So I hop on the Twitter machine and I answer all the mailbag questions I'm able to collect off the Twitter machine. So hop on over to rolling_spoon on Twitter. Throw a follow and hit the DM with a question that you'd like to be answered. And me and Ari will answer it on the show live while smoking joints tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I'm still getting good at it. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, the Weekday Wake and Bake. Your processor loves you, Roll Gang. Mwah!